Warm greetings from the high 10. This is Everyday Shenanigans Hump Day. Yes, it's Wednesday, almost to the end of the week. Thank you all for joining me. I want to thank those who joined me last night. I was a little ripe. You all know how I am about these missing children. Um, um, these cases, they can become overwhelming, but I want to thank the panel guests and thank those who are in the chat, the donations. Thank you, Sandra Lee, wherever you are, for your kind donation. God bless you, sweetheart. Thank you so very much. Um, I will go live after this live. I want to bring you some updates pertaining to some stories that's transpiring right now in America. Because I need to bring you an update pertaining to Surfside and some other things going on with other famous people, excuse me, other demographics. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hello, Diamond Dozen, V, Jennifer. Thank you all so much. It's a very warm day here in the high 10. It's going to reach almost 100 degrees. It's very warm here. It's rising 3 degrees on the hour. Every hour it's going to be an extra 3 degrees, reaching about 97 today in East Tennessee. Very warm. As most of you know, who follow the content here on Everyday Shenanigans, I brought you information last night pertaining to Hawkins County being the lead in the current searches from now on pertaining to summer. I do find that odd and interesting due to the timeline of it being 6 weeks to the date that she's been missing. So I'm asking myself, why now? Why 6 weeks in? And will they allow other organizations to aid in the search for summer? I'm curious to know that. Also, it has been said that the boy children have been removed from the Wells house. They're no longer in the parents' custody. I'd like to know if there was an open investigation already on file, or is it from the things that have been said on social media, or anything that the father or mother has done for the state to step in and take away the children? That is also a question on my information desk that I am curious about. I'm going to bring you content now pertaining to a prayer vigil and that took place, and a woman spoke up against social media rumors. And I'm going to play you that content. The source is WJHL, and you can find this in your YouTube queue for verification. Thank you.
6 weeks since Summer Wells was reported missing from her home in Hawkins County, and after almost 1,100 tips, still no sign tonight of the 5-year-old little girl. Another prayer vigil was held in Kingsport tonight, and a woman who attended told us she felt compelled to be there because she regrets believing rumors that were floating on social media about the case.
It's about Summer Wells. It's about finding that baby. And that's what brought me here. I just don't want to listen to social media no more. It's basically tore me up.
The Amber Alert for Summer Wells issued by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation remains active tonight, and the TBI again said they've received about 10,070 tips so far. No solid leads, no idea where Summer is tonight, according to the TBI. If you have information, a credible tip that can help the TBI, call 1-800-TBI-FIGHT. If you see her, call 911 immediately. It's been 6 weeks since Summer Wells was reported.
Sorry about that. Thank you all for joining me. That's WJHL if you need a source for the said information. So there was a prayer vigil, and this lady was filmed. She was in attendance, and she gave her opinion. And once you watch the video, you can see she was rather shook up, hand shaking, while giving her commentary to the reporter that she doesn't want to listen to any more social media rumors. Maybe she felt some type of way listening to those said rumors, believing those said rumors. And so she spoke to the news, giving her opinion about the rumors that have been floating around. And yes, there have been many rumors. There have been many conversations from outside sources and also the bio donors of Summer Wells giving their commentary on what allegedly happened on June 15th. And everything's up for speculation. And you're entitled to believe whatever you want to believe about these people. You're entitled to believe whatever you want about June 15th, what took place, what did not take place. But as most of you know, I don't follow Facebook rumors or even things on the YT or any other social media platform because one, I wasn't there. I don't know. Do I have an opinion about the case? Of course. I do have an opinion because I'm an adult and I'm grown. And some things just is awry with these said parties. Who's all involved, I do not know. But it's a sad, sad situation. There were 6 weeks in, and there's no sightings, verifications of the child, or even if she is still alive. And as I brought you commentary yesterday, Hawkins County is now choosing to exact any future searches pertaining to Summer Wells. I will now read you commentary pertaining to this prayer vigil and people who met to lay hands on Miss Blythe. Pray for her and her family. If you need verification for the story, WJHL 11 News is the source. Community member speaks up against social media rumors regarding Summer Wells case. Dozens of heads bowed Tuesday night at Borden Park as community members prayed for the safe return of missing 5-year-old Summer Wells. It's been 6 weeks since Summer was reported missing, a month and a half of endless searching and investigating from hundreds of agencies from across the country. Summer's mother, Candace Bly, attended the prayer session where the community offered solace and hope for her daughter's return. One woman in attendance spoke up during the prayer session to apologize to Bly for following social media rumors. This is about Summer. It's not about anybody's opinion, Cynthia Bennett said. It's about Summer and her being found. I apologize to everyone here that I listened to social media. Candace needs our support. Her family, not only is Summer gone, but her boys are gone. She needs our support. Please forgive me for burying my faith in social media. Candace, I apologize. I love you and I love your family, and I hope that Summer is found soon, Bennett continued. News Channel 11 spoke with Bennett after her testimony at Tuesday's prayer Vigil, who said she believes she owed Bly an apology. I wanted to apologize to Candace and the people in general because I was believing things on social media that I had no reason to believe at all, Bennett said. I felt victim and I felt like I needed to apologize. To those who continue spreading rumors and misinformation on social media regarding the disappearance of Summer, Bennett warned to be mindful of the sources. Be careful what you choose to believe, she said. I started praying and God put in my heart, Cynthia, you don't know the situation. You don't know who's guilty. You have no idea. You just don't know. And tonight was all about Summer. Bennett said she never planned to attend the prayer vigil held at Borden Park, but she had a change of heart. I came and that's when I really realized this is about Summer, she said. So anything you read on social media, please take it with a grain of salt. After Tuesday night's vigil, Bennett believes that her experience on social media has changed. My breaking point is tonight, she said. In other words, I'm going to go home and I'm human, so I'm going to read it because I'm human and we read things, but it's my choice from here on out if I believe it or not, and I'm going to choose to not believe it. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation revealed it has surpassed 1,000 tips in the case, none of which have led to a solid lead. The TBI continues to search for the driver of a red or maroon Toyota pickup truck, who the agency describes as a potential witness. The Amber Alert lists the following details for Summer: age 5, sex female, race white, hair blonde, eyes blue, height 3 feet, weight 40 pounds, missing from Rogersville, Tennessee, missing since June 15, 2021. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is asked to contact the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office at 423-272-7121 or TBI at 1-800-TBI-FINE. If you need verification for any of this information that I've brought to you, WJHL 11 News is the source, and feel free to download their app or subscribe to their channel on YouTube. That is the said information pertaining to Summer Wells and the prayer vigil, and this lady giving her commentary that she will no longer believe the rumors that are circulating in this case. Yes, there have been lots of rumors. Brenda, I'm going to address your comment in just a second. Yes, there are a lot of rumors circulating, but as I have said in my past commentary, Miss Lady and others, including myself, we have Allie and H to thank for the rumors, but we also have the Wells to thank because they have all been willing participants in this saga pertaining to this missing child. You see, one thing begets another, and that is what some people fail to realize. Everything needs a jump off. That's just common sense. And in order to get a jump off, somebody has to light the fire. So Alex started this with her rumors, as far as the rumor mill. Then her son followed suit. Then we had other people jumping up saying they're a sister of this and that, and or auntie or whomever these people are, saying something about, allegations of rape, child molestation. See, that's all it took. See, it was one thing in the beginning with just the parents giving their account of June 15th. We were wondering in our heads then what was the truth. So that's the original speculation. It's what the parents said. So you start dissecting and chopping up what they said. Okay? Then here comes the so-called friend, the foe, bringing in the 211, because we really don't know what's the truth, which would be the 411. So we're going to say Allie brought the 211. Then other relatives started talking. Other relatives calling other YouTubers to be interviewed to talk. And so now you have a big pile of boo-boo pertaining to a child. And so it left the realm of Summer Wells and it became a sideshow pertaining to her parents, their habits, their deviances, their past. You see, the thing people don't understand about carrying a bone is that eventually your own bones will slide out of the closet. You see, because at some point, somebody's going to do you the same way you did that person, such as Candace Bly and Mr. Don Wells. You are going to eventually have people looking into your background, your past, what you've been doing. And see, that's what Miss Mulani didn't think about. That eventually people are going to start talking about you and what you're doing and obviously how you look and your appearance. That's why sometimes it's best to keep your mouth closed. So we can thank Miss Mulani and Boy H and all these other relatives for the jump off, because they have helped aid the rumors pertaining to the Wells and whatever the hell was going on at that house on that mountain. And from what we've seen of Miss Mulani, she's the last one to throw shade on the Wells. Because I got a feeling she probably don't live any better than they do. And she fraternized with this person and let her child stay in the company of this person. And I get it. You can't believe everything that you hear. And I tell you all that all the time. That's why I don't sometimes know what you're talking about when you come in the chat and you're repeating things that you heard. And I've also understand that, yes, possibly so. Yes. But the point still remains. Everything is still hearsay, whether I believe it or not. I wasn't there, so I can't say who said what to whom, who did what to whom. I just can't. I can just say it sounds bad. It looks bad. But I don't have any verification. And some things, yes, may have been confirmed. But as I state, it depends on your interpretation. Because what I think, you don't think. How you doing, honey? So, therefore, everything's up for perception. Everything about life is a perception. Because like I said, somebody can go outside right now in this heat and say, wow, it feels great outside. But then I could go out and say, it's hot as hell out there. I can't breathe. You see what I'm saying? Everybody sees and hears things differently. Right. And they take it and they run with it. And as you've seen in the chat, people have said things that were not accurate. And then somebody went in behind them and say, no, 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 that's not true. She didn't say that. He said that. Or he said that. She said that. Or no, he didn't say that. Because people start to pass stuff along. Maybe not deliberately, but maybe you misspoke. You misheard something. And that's what's going on in this case right now between who said what about what situation. And that's why I've never made a claim of what Ms. Mulani has said, because I never watched her initial interview. I caught a glimpse of it about a week or so ago, but I didn't sit thoroughly through and watch the entire interview. Yes, it's very dark at this point. But this lady, her son, didn't help the Wells. Because like I said, their her version was conflicting from the beginning. And now with all these people talking, and Miss Wells talking again, Miss Bly, whoever, to Mr. Chris, she's just affirmed to me that something is off, awry with her and her family pertaining to this child. And she's more suspect to me now because besides the variances of commentary to the news, all this extra stuff with the house, seeing the house, how it's made, how it's set up, I can't in my right mind think the child had been abducted. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just because of what I saw yesterday in the video, I broke it all the way down. Every variable I could come up with to the disappearance of Summer Wells, I broke it down last night, visually and mentally. So no matter how somebody weighs it, this one, that one, woods, trail, driveway, side house, other house, in the end, something doesn't add up about the disappearance of the child and there being an abductor. And as far as the rumors, you entitled to believe whatever you want to believe. That's your opinion. Whatever you think about what happened, didn't happen, who you believe is telling the truth. I believe there's a little bit of truth sprinkled by all the participants in the storyline. The problem is how much is fraudulent and lie. That's where the problem comes in. You don't know all of the story. You don't have a direct timeline. You don't know who else could be involved. You don't know what happened to Summer Wells. We don't know if her parents are involved in her disappearance. We don't know if the children did something to the child and the parents covered it up. We don't know. We just know it's jacked up at this point. It's all the way jacked up. And it's sad. And yes, as far as the search, I do feel like perhaps Hawkins County wants the credit. Perhaps they know something. They have an idea where she is, and they're about to bring the bang, and they want to make sure they get the full credit. And as I stated last night, I do not know who else will assist or be able to assist. I don't know. I'm just saying that what I've read and brought to you is grainy and very suspicious to me. Why this county sheriff would wait 6 weeks into an investigation to decide to take the lead for the searches for this child when you're already crying and moaning about expenses. You made it clear. We're going to search. We're going to keep the investigation open, but we've got to allocate this, move this here, move some things around. Nobody can tell me in their right mind they don't find that odd that they're now taking the lead. So that leads us to wonder, how does that fit in with the other groups who were participating in the search for Summer Wells? Will they be allowed to participate, and will Hawkins County merge with outside groups to find Summer Wells? Well, I pray it doesn't go cold. But like I said, we don't know what Ellie and the TBI has as far as evidentiary information. If they do have a suspects in mind, we don't know. But I do believe, if anything, they do have evidentiary as far as devices. I do believe some of that's come back. 6 weeks in, something's come back. May not be everything, may not be everybody's devices, excuse me, but I think they've got something to roll with. It's just a matter of putting it together. But the rumors are out of control. I agree. And I've never put my finger on one rumor versus another because, like I said, it all looks bad, no matter how you weigh it, no matter if you believe what's been said about any of the people involved. And after seeing the house, that just made it worse. And I'm just going to tell it like it is. To me, if I was to sit up in front of a camera and Facebook and tell people that I'm tired of people talking about me, I'm tired of people chopping up my very words, my every word, I sure as hell wouldn't continue to talk on the live book. I sure as hell wouldn't go run to YouTube. I wouldn't be talking to a YouTuber. I wouldn't be talking to anyone with a podcast. If I was to give a statement, I would talk to the news because I would pray and hope they would get my version out there, whether it's the truth or not. But I would never talk to anybody pertaining to social media. So that would leads me to think that these people, as I have said, don't care about themselves and don't care about Summer. Because you can't complain about how you're being perceived when you are aiding those who will get it out there to the public. You're giving your version to the rumor mill. A podcaster is sitting on a walkie-talkie jukebox. How in the world did you think talking to this lady would be helpful to your livelihood? You and Mr. Wells are foolish. Miss Mulani and her son were foolish. What they did was help spread more rumors, help us come to the conclusion perhaps these people had a lot going on, wrapped up in a whole lot of a something, and that's the continuation of the gossip. And they've also sealed their fate, in my opinion, by looking guilty because the variances keep popping up in every conversation. So you're crying and moaning, but yet you're helping people look at you in a negative light. So you're doing a disservice to yourself, and you're also helping people think that you're guilty because every time you talk, something changes in your conversation pertaining to June 15th. You're adding a little this extra. Every time Candace Bly talks, she adds something extra into the conversation. So now you're getting a little bit more than what you got June 15th, June 16th, week 1, week 2, week 3. You've got extra stuff that wasn't mentioned in her commentary to the news, wasn't mentioned possibly to the dispatch, probably wasn't mentioned to TBI or Hawkins County Sheriff Department, Rogersville Police Department. Stay woke. And that's where they're going to falter, all parties involved. Because I got a feeling that most of the stuff that we've heard from all 4 individuals probably never got told to law enforcement. You've helped seal your own fate that you are possibly complicit to the disappearance of your child. And perception is everything. Doesn't mean it's true. What I think I'm seeing, what I heard come out your mouth, what I heard coming out of somebody else's mouth, it's how it looks. It's how it looks. And looks do count. For those who think that it doesn't, it does. How you represent yourself is very important. The company you keep is very important. The decisions you make is important. They are important. The things you do with your kids, without your kids, around your kids, those decisions are important. And this is a sad, sad case of another child that went missing in East Tennessee. Last year it was Evelyn Boswell, who was retrieved from a family member's property, stored like trash, and her mother is now sitting in jail awaiting trial. Now we have this baby, and we got all these possibilities of who did it and why. Rumors, 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 yes. Pookie said this, Ray Ray said this. You don't know what to believe. I don't know, Missy. I don't have any idea. As I stated, I don't know what happened to Summer. But I'm going to say this for the 1,000th time. It doesn't matter if there was an accident or not. The point is, why would you not call the ambulance. And as I stated in my live last night, if this goes to trial and the parents are brought up on charges, you are going to have to explain to 12 members of a jury why you would go and hide your child's body from an accident. You got to now make those 12 people believe you feared to be arrested for the death of your child, so you hid your child's body as to not be looked upon as a suspect. Do you know how that's going to look in a courtroom with all the rumors and rhetoric that most people have heard? And there's no way you're going to find 12 members of a jury that have not heard the rumors pertaining to Candace Bly and Don Wells. You would have to go 6, 7 states over to get a 12-panel jury that have not heard the story or the rumors pertaining to the story. So right now, as I speak, the current situation in that holler is dire. 3 boys have been removed from their custody. The state is now involved in the investigation of Summer Wells and these boys. No exact information on why the children were taken. I don't expect to get the truth from Mr. Wells or Miss Bly. Not now, not never. Hawkins County is now taking the lead on the search. Why now 6 weeks? Possibly to save face and take the credit. That's how I'm leaning right now. Could be wrong, but that's my perception at the time. And now we have a person speaking up from a prayer vigil saying she believes the rumors, she feels guilty, she apologized to Miss Bly, blah, blah, blah. But I find that a bit extensive. Why do you need to apologize to Candace? You're human. You could have just laid in a cut and prayed. And then when the prayer was over, went on your way. You don't have to rub noses with somebody just because their child is missing. And if you think that they possibly could still be guilty, you just say, well, to yourself, I went there in good faith for the child. Because there might be some people who actually went there and may think the parents are guilty, but they are there for a summer. Then you have some who probably would say, I ain't going because I believe they did it. So I ain't getting ready to go stand up there and pray with these folks. See, everything is about perception. But I would not have apologized to her personally. I would not have done that because I don't know if she's guilty or not. So therefore, I, Angela, would not go up to her to apologize for listening to rumors, apologize for believing the rumors, apologize to her, period. I just wouldn't have done that. Because what if we found out later she is guilty of harming her child? Then how would you feel knowing you done went on a news broadcast shaking, saying, I'm sorry, I believe the rumors, I listened to the rumors. I love you, I love your family. And this is all what was said in the commentary I just brought you. How are you going to feel then, Miss Lady, if indeed she's guilty? Then you got to then double back and say, oh, I made a mistake. And I find it interesting that you would use such strong words to say, I love you, I love your family, I made a mistake. You see, sometimes it's best, I'm going to say it again, to be quiet. You can say all that to God. God, I may have made a mistake. I may have judged this lady too harshly, judged her husband too harshly. I'm just going to sit back and wait and see what happens. I'm not going to participate in the rumors. I'm not going to comment on social media pages. I'm just going to wait and see. That's between you and God. You didn't have to go live on the news broadcast and say anything. You didn't have to go up to Miss Bly and say anything. You could have just had a private conversation with God and yourself and say, I'm just going to wait and see what the evidence is and pray that I'm wrong about this lady. That's all. But as I said, to each his own. Everybody does things differently. I'm not going up to nobody, prayer vigil or not, Facebook page, TikTok page, inbox. I don't work like that. And that's something I've learned about doing this YT thing. I tread very carefully on who I contact pertaining to a story. And I never contact anybody that I think is a suspect in a person's disappearance or murder. Because I don't have the stomach to sit there and talk to you. And my better half is saying, they did that. They did that. And I do believe a lot of people who go out here with podcasts and talk to these people immersed in the crimes, they're doing it to build a rapport with the people so they can keep the people coming back talking to them. And let me tell you something about that. Everybody's role is different that has a podcast. Some may think they're guilty, but they want to build a rapport so they can get the info to bring to the public. Some may actually believe the people are innocent and talk to them to get the info to bring to the public. And then you have some want to get the likes and the views, and they know damn well them folks are guilty. But they're never going to tell you that because they want the people to keep coming back to bring them the 411 or the 211. Because you see, I can get more flies with honey. But it doesn't mean I like you. And that's the dangerous part about doing the podcast and talking to these people. You're misleading them if deep down inside you think they're guilty. And they think you're their friend. They think you like them. They think you believe in them. And the sick part will be you don't believe in them and you're stringing them along for content. Because at some point, when the bang comes, what opinion are you going to give then when the truth is revealed? Are you still going to teeter-totter and act like you don't have an opinion? You like them? You showing them favor? Or are you going to be honest and say, yeah, I thought you did that all along, but I just used you for your interview. Use you for you to just talk so I can get the content out. And that's a very good point you're making in the chat. No lawyer would tell you to talk to a podcaster. And they would be also leery about what you would tell the news. And the lawyer would have gone over everything that you said to the news or anybody that you've allowed to interview you. And then they would tell you and give you the best advice possible about what to say and not to say the next time, and who you should and should not be speaking to. And some of you are on differences about if they have a lawyer or not. I don't know if that's the truth. But I can say, I don't think a lawyer would advise them to have done this interview with Chris. So I don't know when they retained a lawyer or if that's even true. Because like I told you, you really can't believe anything that comes out of the mouth of Mr. Wells and Miss Bly at this point. Well, they may have a lawyer for the CPS case. I don't know. That's the whole point. I don't know anything. I don't know if they have a lawyer for a criminal lawyer or if they have a lawyer pertaining to this, the children being gone. That's the whole point of the story. This is why I said you can't believe anything that's being said because you will never get verification. And Mr. Wells has talked around in circles and duck goose about why the children were taken, talking in riddles pertaining to him being drinking, and the stress of the rumors have pushed him over, but he willingly participated in the gossip. You went tit for tat on social media with people when you shouldn't have done that. Your child is missing and there's an open investigation. Why would you be on social media? Why would your wife be on social media? You had no business on there after you reported your child missing. And then you go talk to this lady and say, well, yeah, I've stopped talking. And I told Candace she needs to stop talking as well. Come again. But yet you're the same people crying and moaning that people are judging you and judging how you talk and judging how you look, but you're giving them something to talk about. Because as I state, your friends have thrown you under the bus, Miss Mulani and her son. And yet you still will go talk to Chris. Mr. Wells, you go talk to this other podcaster. You all are all over the place. And yet now in public, Candy's crying at this vigil. She welled up with Chris at the swimming hole. And she welled up when he interviewed her at her house outside. You can see the water in her eyes. This is the first time we've seen any emotion from you, Candace Bly, which I find very suspect. But then the flip side could be, well, maybe she didn't do this. Maybe she's finally realizing, hey, I have nothing now. All my kids are gone. Hell, I may not even have a marriage. Or is it she's guilty and crying for her own livelihood, which is about to dissipate? Exactly. She possibly may be crying for herself. That her foot is caught in a trap and she can't get her leg out. And the more she tugs at that leg, the more it bleeds. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for joining me. And as I state, you're entitled to believe whatever you want about Candace Bly, Mr. Wells, what he did, didn't do, how he treated his family, who she is as a person, who he is as a person. But after seeing the house, nobody in their right mind can tell me or anybody else what to think, how to feel. Like I said, I'm an adult and I will feel how I want to feel. I'll say what I want to say because in the end, I'm the one who has to stand on my own salvation. You don't. And that's the same thing with these people. In the end, they've got to stand account for whatever they did and didn't do with God, not us as outsiders, not law enforcement, not nobody. This is a very sick case of a child who didn't have a chance. And that's the gist of the story with Summer Wells. Like all the other stories, whether they're in New York, California, Tennessee, they're all the same. There are children born to people who didn't need to have children. And they kept their children anyway. And they raised them in unsafe, unkempt environments, not giving a damn. And then lo and behold, on a fateful day, night, afternoon, a child is found beat to death, battered, broke leg, broke femur, starving, hid in a dungeon, hid in a room, no appropriate bathrooms to use, buried somewhere, thrown out in the woods, thrown in a dumpster. Do you see where I'm going with this? All the stories are the same. Different walks of life, different races, different sizes, but the MO is the same. The children were born to nasty beasts who did not give a damn, and they harmed their children, abused their children, and murdered their children. Well, I don't know, Zara. Yes, I remember that story about the baby in the couch. And that's another thing I'm saying. The people, all that was in the house knew of the abuse. How could you not? Too many people staying in a house. You know something's going on because you're a witness to the madness, the coming and the going and the riffraff. You're watching the abuse. You're staying there. No way you could stay in a house with 5, 6, 7, 8 people. And if there's abuse going on with the children, you don't know that it's going on. you are willing participants. So long as you walk in and out of that door, you eat at the table, you use the bathroom, you take a shower there, you eat there, play cards there, games there, have sex there, whatever the hell you're doing there, you are willing participants. And you see this in all the stories. Somebody always knew there was abuse, but they either kept it to themselves, gossiped about it with somebody else behind the people's back, or they secretly called CPS and waited for the fallout. And as I state, I don't have any verification that DHS was involved before Summer went missing. Just rumors, somebody called CPS. Rumors they allegedly were supposed to have been going there that day. See, we have no verification on anything. Everything is he said, she said. And I'm telling you, after last night's video, I was mortified and sick to my stomach to know anybody lived at this residence. It's a death trap, literally. And I do believe this child is no longer alive. She was on her way out from the womb. And there's something I was listening to, which is my own video. I was watching it before I jumped on, and it's something I believe Not Out or somebody said last night that makes so much sense. And I had already said it a couple weeks ago. An abductor had a chance to take 4 children, but they only took 1 allegedly. Why is that? If I'm to believe somebody came there or lied in wait, they only wanted the 1. And you've seen how the rooms are laid out downstairs. So you want me to now believe the door was unlocked, somebody either walked in or somebody lied in wait, not knowing when somebody was coming back. Very great point somebody made in the chat. Didn't know how long they were going to be gone, when they were going to return, and took a chance of being heard in that small house. If indeed, let's say, the mother was downstairs and not upstairs. The rooms are adjoining. So how would they not hear somebody come in the door and take the child out if they were downstairs? Let's think about that, okay? So some of you were saying that last night. Maybe she was never upstairs. Maybe the mother was downstairs. Okay, if she's downstairs, the rooms are adjoining, so she would have heard somebody come in. So that means the person came in the door and put their hands over the child's mouth and left out the property through the woods, either direction. See, the thing about that is this. If indeed it happened that way, they lied in wait, took the girl out the door, ran through the woods, did whatever they had to do. Did it not occur to you they would have already found the body in the woods because he couldn't carry her, he, she, they, by foot? That's why I tell you to think before you throw out a narrative. It's not even logical, plausible. That's why sometimes I just let people talk. Because a lot of times people don't think about what they're saying. So, narrative 1. Abductor lied in wait, ran out through the woods with the child. Well, where did he take the child? On foot. That would be a very daunting task to carry a child through the woods and walk down an open road as if nobody would see you. Stay woke. So that means the person did whatever they had to do to the child in the woods and left the child in the woods, and then they walked out on foot. So now you're talking about the child would have been discovered by now. Hello. Number 2, you took a chance to walk down a lonely road and think nobody would have seen you walking, wondering why are you out there walking? No sidewalks. Sir, you need any help? Sir, you stranded? Ma'am, you stranded? Stay woke. Number 2, they couldn't have gone through the scaffold, through the front door. Too obvious. Got to walk by mom's trailer. Kids are in the kitchen. How did they get in there? They had to walk by the kids. You see how the kitchen is set up. 2 rooms adjoining. So that means the person walked in, walked through the kitchen by the kids playing the games, and went through that cubby hole down to the basement and stole a baby girl. That's not plausible. Either way, if a person came on the property they would have risked being seen coming or going by foot. By drive, you are alerting people when the rubber hits the rocks on the drive. So you see, I've chopped up every variable to June 15th of an abductor being in the property, coming to the property by foot, coming to the property by car, coming in through the main door, which is dangerous and visible to all parties, including the grandmother, Candace, and the children. No way in hell they went through the front door. So that leaves the bottom door, which she now throws out. I may have left it unlocked. How convenient. See where I'm going with this? Kids sleep, half sleep, watching, playing the game. A stairwell that is too hard to go down, and you'd have to pass the children to do that. So that's out. Next is somebody lying in wait. But then they'd have to know when you're coming back. And then the rooms adjoining to the parents' room. And they'd have to know the parents were not going to be downstairs in order to take the child from the playroom. And allegedly, the door has locks on either side. So if the child opened the door from the inside, how would she have been able to get out if there's a lock on the outside? Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you so much. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. I want to thank you all so much. I don't want to keep this a long live because I will jump back on later because I'm sure there'll be another update pertaining to Summer Wells before dark. And I do have some other updates I want to bring to you with other stories that I've brought to you. And I really didn't want to get into all this narrative stuff because this video is really about the rumors. But nonetheless, every time we talk, everybody talks about other stuff besides the title. That's usually what happens. The rumors originated from a dispatch call by Mr. Wells. And people began to chop up the dispatch call. People began to chop up their interviews. And then came Allie, and then other relatives, and then boy H, and then a sister, stepsister, talking about the removal of the children. And that's all it took for the games to begin. So if anybody wants to cry and moan about being talked about rumors, you set this ball in motion when you called 911 and you changed your story throughout the weeks. And then your friend turned on you, Candace Bly. And then her son turned on you. And then these other relatives came and gave information about Mr. Wells. And that's all it took for the rumors to start. You helped aid the rumors, Candace Bly and Don Wells, because you have not been truthful about what happened this summer. And now that we've seen how you live, indeed, it doesn't make you a murderer, but it shows you did not care enough about yourself nor your children. And one thing that has been said about true crime is that the truth never changes, and it needs no explanation ever. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining me. The truth never changes. Ever. Hello, John Q. John, call me when I get off the live. Thank you so very much. I need to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining me. The truth never changes. And the variables have changed from the dispatch call up until the interview you saw last night with Mr. Chris. There have been new things added to the commentary by Candace Bly. And at some point, you can think that possibly she did not do this. Don did not do this. It was an accident. They just covered it up. The children did something to Summer. Mystery man on the property did something to Summer. But once again, as I said, chop it up and make it make sense. Would I risk harming a child, running through the woods, discarding the child there, and walk out by foot, knowing somebody would have seen me walking? Because I don't think you all know how long 8 minutes is. Allegedly, child molester in the vicinity of the house. 8 minutes by foot or 8 minutes by car. So imagine walking out of the woods and I just committed a crime. I'm now going to be seen by passerbyers. Would I risk being seen by foot? And how would I explain what the hell I'm doing walking on a lonely road in the holler? Car, too conspicuous. Noisemaker coming up the drive. Alleged gate. Was it locked, unlocked for the perpetrator to go up the drive? Entering the door. How do I know there's a child there? How do I know what's on the property, period, and what's in there? How would a car not be noticed? Gotta shut the door. Stay woke. Gotta turn the engine off. Stay woke. Gotta be able to get in the door. Stay woke. Do I have a key? Stay woke. Is it another lock on the other side of the door? Stay woke. Adjoining rooms. I don't know who's on the other room. Sleep. Stay woke. Make it make sense. The truth never changes. Has Don left his wife? I do not know. Has she left the compound and found her another place to live? I do not know. But I would find it odd, that she would find a place in less than 7 days, considering she does not work. She does not have income unless she draws a Social Security check, SSI. And then that means she'd have to be applying for a place to live as soon as she found out her child went missing. Stay woke. All unconfirmed allegations, rumors, once again. Mr. and Mrs. Wells, you did this to yourself. When you dialed 911, you sealed the deal. When you went to the news and never mentioned your child's name, you sealed the deal. She, past tense, you sealed the deal. You go into random YouTubers, you sealed the deal. You're talking back and forth and arguing with people on Facebook, you sealed the deal. Living in filth, you sealed the deal. Not caring for your children, you sealed the deal. Getting drunk, using drugs, hanging with the wrong people, you sealed the deal. Letting random people stay on your property, you sealed the deal. Blaming law officials, you sealed the deal. Continuously talking to random people on social media, you sealed the deal. You've learned nothing from the day you called the dispatch about your daughter Summer. You are aiding the gossip. Both of you are aiding the rumors. You did this to yourselves. And Summer and her brothers have paid the price for your deviances and your behavior and your disposition and your lack of concern and your lack of love for them. They have now paid the ultimate price. And sadly, I do believe one will not be coming back. Not now, not never. You have nobody to blame but yourselves. And I'm glad the state stepped in. And I pray that you don't get those kids back because they deserve a better life than what's out there in that holler. They deserve to see something better than that. They deserve to have their own rooms, shared rooms, clean linen, nice decorations, food in the refrigerator, electrical outlets that work, water, gas, sewer, lights, ceiling fans, air conditioning, central heating, air, green grass, no obstructions, no dirty yards, no 50 million animals running around where they could catch all type of diseases, visits to the doctor, to the dentist, adequate health care, clean neighborhood. They deserve the best. And you all failed them miserably. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. I want to thank you all for joining me. I will be back shortly with another live pertaining to the latest updates, news stories that I have lined up. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank my new subscribers. I want to thank the panel from last night. I want to thank those in the chat. I want to thank you for commenting. I want to thank you for commenting on my community post. I want to thank you for caring. If you genuinely care about Summer, Cal City, Evelyn Boswell, and so many other children who were cheated the luxury of life, the luxury of being loved, I want to thank you because they need a voice, because they've been failed. And you know that today, somebody else will be another story. Because I already got a notification of another child missing here now. There will always be another story. Sadly, there will always be another story. Thank you for joining me. God bless all of you. Come back on with me in a little bit. And thank the mods. Thank you, Mr. John Q, for joining me. Thank you all so much. God bless you. Stay safe. If you see something, say something. Chat with Car 32, missing from East Tennessee, Clinton, Tennessee, from the Foundation House. Mindy Lowe is the owner of the Foundation House. Mindy Lowe is the owner of the Foundation House. Mindy Lowe is the owner of the Foundation House where a Black man went missing. Stand account, Mindy Lowe. Stand account. Deshina Kyle, 27, missing from Knoxville, Tennessee. No words, no phone calls, no sightings. Left her house, left her dog. Where is she? Somebody knows. Somebody knows. Thank you, baby. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Say what? Invading these folks' privacy. What you talking about? I'm good. Oh, Lord. You have to tell me something later. Well, they've told you that about social media. Before I get out of here, this is why they don't want you watch what you do and say on social media, because naturally, if she was killed by somebody, which we can go on and think that now, if she's not alive, whoever is behind the disappearance of Summer, they do watch social media. Of course they're watching. They watch. They're watching everything you're doing. They're watching YouTube. They're watching Facebook, TikTok. They're watching anything where her name pops up. They're looking at everything that's being said. This is why I told you all to stay woke. The truth never changes. And Miss Bly has been changing the variables, adding different little things in every time she speaks. Stay woke. Thank you all for joining me. I'll be back on shortly. This is Everyday Shenanigans.